All right, Capricorns, welcome into your December monthly reading. Oh my gosh, got a dirty table here. Yeah, welcome into the last month of the year. So we're wrapping up 2025. How are you guys feeling? When we look back at the year, what do you feel looking back at the year? Where are you right now? It's a good time to kind of take stock of 2025, what happened, maybe what are the lessons you learned, looking how far you've come, the progress you made, but also that you made it. It was a challenging year. A lot of people are calling it like the bridge year, and it's so ironic because I was getting a lot of channeled messages and like from my guides and things for a couple years now about like, it's for me specifically, it's been a couple years, so it could be the same for you. And it was kind of leading up to this 2025 year where this was kind of like the ending of the bridge. Like you're finally kind of on the way out or off the bridge. So you could be feeling the same thing. This period of the bridge, of being on the bridge, is kind of this like, right, you're going from one situation to another, like almost like big life changes happening. Maybe feeling like, okay, when is this going to work out? I'm feeling stuck. When am I going to get off this ride? I want, to bring XYZ into my life, and I'm kind of going from one phase or cycle to a new. So that's kind of what the bridge is representing. But Capricorns, we're now in December, so let's kind of see here. We're still coming off we still got a lot of residual energy from November. Big water energy, a lot going on in November. We're still kind of in this grand water trine that's going to go through mid-December. We are now in Sag season, so the sun is in Sagittarius, which kind of does help lighten it up a little bit. And by the end of the month, we will be in your season. The sun will move into Capricorn. So happy birthday to December Capricorn babies. The beginning of the month is going to still be a little bit of like feeling like we're still kind of trying to get through, jump over some hurdles. We still may feel like things aren't fully like, we're trying to work through things, but it's like they're a little bit of challenge. Relationships as well things aren't gonna get easier, just like all angles of your life, more around mid-December through the end of December. So that's good for the holidays. We have, let's see, for Sag, just a few things to call out. Mercury is moving into Sagittarius on the 11th of December. This is going to be a time of like, you may notice like secrets being revealed. It's almost like a lot of people might be coming to you and like sharing their personal life and information. You're like, what's going on here? But that might be something around that time. And then that also does create a little bit more lighthearted conversation though as well. Mercury is finally going direct. If it went direct the end of November, so at least we're out of the retrograde. Then Mars does move into your sign on the 14th, so that is going to energize you Capricorns a bit. You're going to feel some energy lifting, kind of like getting a little turbocharge. You might feel more motivated, inclined to get more stuff done around that time, so that'll be good for you guys. Then we have a new moon in Sagittarius on the 19th. So this is going to ask you, so again, we'll have that like on the 14th, some extra energy, maybe getting a lot done, doing a lot. And then by the 19th, like a couple days later, it's going to be like, okay, let's rest a little bit. We had that good surge of energy to go out and get some Christmas shopping done, you know, organize, figure plans out, maybe get some extra things done at work before the holidays. But then the new moon in Sag is going to ask you to kind of lighten up. Don't focus too much on the doing aspect. Maybe go out, have a happy hour with some friends, and just kind of sit back and enjoy. You know, you should have all your Christmas decorations up by now. And then the sun will move into Capricorn on the 21st. And that's a lot of, you know, really driven energy as well, focused on, you know, improving things, getting stuff done, focusing on kind of things of like, what do I need to feel successful? That's like very Capricorn energy. And also, there's going to be a focus on just health in general this month with that sun moving in your sign. So whether it's, if you haven't been taking care of yourself, definitely do that. But then also, then on the 24th, Venus moves into your sign. So this is going to like ask us to get a lot more serious about our finances and our relationships. So this could also improve, this is going to help improve things and just make things easier when it comes to relationships with like authority figures. Let's say like bosses, business partners, or just like clients, investors, or things like that from a business perspective. So that is going to bring some easier energy in that sector, especially because the last month, you might have seen a little bit more conflict and just like butting of heads when it came to bosses, managers, you know, authority figure types. So that's going to be good. But also this could be a good time that, you know, if you're in new relationships or wanting a relationship to get more serious, this could help promote that as well. Okay, so that kind of wraps up, I guess, the astrology for the month. Let's see how this fits in with the reading. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, you can book one on my website below. I'm gonna do a little special discount on my readings for probably like a week to 2 week time period during the, you know, kind of like after Thanksgiving, probably when this video comes out. So take advantage of that. And then also for the holidays, some great gift ideas. You can take a look at my Etsy shop and look at any, you know, my handmade crystal or stone metaphysical jewelry. So I do work with all my stones that I use in my jewelry metaphysically, so they are Reiki'd, and I do energy work with them with the full moon. So those are some great kind of custom energy tools, great for gifts or for yourself. But just want to call that out. And yeah, let's get going here. Let's get started. So first thing we're going to look at for Caps is what's the past energy that's kind of influencing you. So we have standing stones, passage, and embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. So this standing stones passage, it's again goes back to what I talked about earlier about the bridge. I do feel like you have been going from kind of something to something new, like a portal almost energetically. You've been going through kind of this passage, so think of like a cycle ending. You could have had some endings and are on the verge of these new beginnings here, but I do feel like you are at a place, you know, when we think of the recent past, there is something that you're enthused about. I think you are enthused and hopeful about where you're headed or where you're at, the future coming here, especially after 2025 has kind of been a year for people. So let's get more info here. Page of Pentacles. There was definitely a lesson, a big lesson this year. 8 of Cups. You could have walked away from something. Ace of Wands. Yeah, you had like a passionate... I do feel like the past really ignited some sort of passionate new beginning for you. You definitely, there's something you walked away from, and there was a lesson from this. There was value in what you went through, but I feel like you're now taking the value of, you're really now seeing in a new way why you had to go through what you went through. And this 8 of Cups too is also about like this emotional purification that we went through, especially the last month. So this is about finding the dense emotions that we've still been carrying on to, and kind of allowing those energies to kind of move on. It was time to integrate as well. So it could also be around like a really facing some things from your past and kind of moving on from them. But I feel like you're in a great place with this Ace of Wands and the Enthusiasm card. Again, that's like a passionate new beginning here. You're feeling kind of this new energy coming in, which is really kind of igniting some new ideas for you, new, like feeling creative, having ideas about change, and how you're applying them in your life. All right, let's see, what is your current energies? So in the flow, everything is smooth sailing. Spirit Garden of Spring activation. So whatever this little challenge or rough patch was, I do feel like now, like your guides and the divine is kind of saying you're smooth sailing ahead here. Like there's this flow energy. Well, things are going to flow easier for you. And you've really had some sort of new activation going on. So when we think of the energy of springtime, it's like we were in a period of like, you know, death and kind of a death of things, right? Almost like a quiet time. Things really weren't happening. There wasn't a lot of movement. And then all of a sudden spring comes and we're blossoming, right? New things are popping up, opportunities. We're kind of excited about what's occurring in our life at this time. And so I feel like that's where you're at right now, which is nice. So Caps, it's like whenever you see this reading, right, the current energies you're in, I do feel like you're probably like, yeah, things are feeling a little better right now. Especially after the past here, something going on in the past. Yeah, we have the Devil energy here. We have the Strength, and then the Ten of Pentacles. So liking this. You definitely overcame something. There was kind of a difficult period. This could also refer to a very karmic period where you were learning maybe some karmic lesson. It could be around finances or money, just like karma, learning lessons around belief systems maybe tied to money. This could also be like ancestral karma that you've kind of been playing out during a certain cycle of your life. I mean, this could have been going on your whole life, but things are changing. But definitely there's been some sort of karmic period where you really had to look at the emotions you're still carrying from the past that don't serve you, and belief systems, especially when it comes to your self-worth, money and finances, and your confidence and power you hold. But I like the Strength overcoming the Devil energy. Like I like this together. And then the Ten of Pentacles is this like kind of realization of some new period of abundance for you. Okay, let's see what's what's coming in. Overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. And then elves, playfulness. I feel like this energy has been, you're like the fourth reading I've done. This has come up. I do feel like, you know, again, we're at a place where we've come a long way this year, and we're kind of ending the year at a place where we can kind of look back and see like how far we've come. What, like, we definitely went through some obstacles, but we figured it out, and we're at a better place here. But, and you could like still be like at the tail end of this overcoming obstacles, but I feel like by the end of the month, what's coming in is like you're kind of past this. And there's this playfulness energy again is about just, you know, we're in Sagittarius season, and that's very Sagittarian. It's like Sag is about fun and adventure and just kind of approaching life and kind of that lighthearted way. Definitely more easygoing energy here. So I like that coming in for you, because Capricorns, you can be a little too, you know, on the other side of like, oh, we got to work. We got to, you know, focus on the day-to-day, like cleaning the house and, you know, tending to things, and how do we, always about success and how do we improve ourselves, and, you know, that more, you're an earth sign, so it's more physically focused, like externally focused on like the chores and the errands and the money, and, you know, what does this all look like, the work. But I like this for shifting out of that and like taking time to just enjoy life, have fun, and that more lighthearted energy for you guys. All right, Nine of Swords, Nine of Cups, ooh, double nines here, and the Empress. Like this too. I mean, what's coming in, I feel like potentially though, you're still kind of in this place of, this could be a pattern of yours of always like thinking too much, analyzing things. There's some worry and anxiety here about, I think, what's coming in or the future. But it's kind of like saying with the Nine of Cups and the Empress, like there's nothing to worry about here. Like you're worried about if things are going to kind of like go in your favor in a, it could be a certain situation, or if you're going to really get what you want. Or, you know, there could be something that you've really been working on and trying to grow and birth in your life. That's kind of the energy of the Empress, of like her fertility and like growing something and tending to it and nurturing it and wanting it to kind of birth into the physical for you. But I do feel like something's coming. You're like on the verge of birthing something new, but you definitely have anxiety about this new thing. This is another common trend I'm seeing for everyone, is like there's been a lot of endings, new beginnings. There's been a lot of things that we've really had to look at, especially at the last 6 months of this year, of like really looking at our lives and saying what's not working, like really finding a new you. This is also the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac, and the snake really represents that like shedding of its old skin, of like kind of that knowledge and wisdom, but like becoming really wise and about, especially because we've experienced a lot and we're coming out of it with more knowledge, but we're also shedding like the old self and kind of birthing into a new. And that's kind of what this Scorpio season in November really was, you know, adding on to that is the season of death and rebirth. So we really come out of this, you know, really realizing like where we are right now, having clarity about who we are. Maybe it's a new us. Maybe we've really been through a lot of changes even internally this year. And we're kind of now approaching life in a new way of like, what aligns with me and this new me? What is it that really fills my cup? What really fills my desires? What are my dreams that maybe I've put on the back burner because of, again, my old belief systems or the lack of confidence, or, because I've always been focused on everybody else. So I like this new energy coming in for you. So that's kind of what's coming. Let's look at the good stuff here. What is the good stuff for December? We have prosperity, and we have rejuvenating rain, clear the past and heal the present. So we did talk about that Eight of Cups, about walking away from things from the past that were kind of holding us down or blocking us from bringing in, some new energy here. So there is prosperity coming in for you. I do feel like there's a lot more kind of new energy after going through this sort of purification process this year. So let's get some tarot. We have 2 cards fly out. So I have 5 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Page of Wands. So these are the good, this is the good stuff. So even, maybe like the 5 of Pentacles, this is shifting it to a positive. So you could have had a year of maybe some financial constraints, maybe money was tight, maybe you weren't making as much or bringing in as much revenue so I feel like that's shifting now, and you got the prosperity card. So you're bringing in more from a financial standpoint for those of you that it applies to, but also just shifting out of I'm also feeling like in relationships, if you feel like relationships haven't been that fulfilling for you, or like passionate, or just feeling like, because this card represents like feeling out in the cold from connections. And I feel like that's shifting, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. Like your luck is really changing in a lot of different aspects of your life. And there's new, fresh energy coming in with the Page. I do feel like there's a lot of new things coming in as well that are inspiring you. Not just inspiring you to create, but inspiring you to feel like you're feeling new emotions that you haven't maybe felt in a long time. Let's get a couple clarifiers. What's the lesson here from the past? Page of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Yeah, you were definitely, to me, there's the ties that bind. I talk about that a lot, especially when it comes to karma or like energetic ties. Like we've been tied to some things energetically from the past that like we're finally cutting those ties and we're freeing ourselves from that. Those ties have really caused us, there's been some areas of your life that you've been stuck in, or that have been kind of the same sort of experience or karma. And now we're able to free ourselves. So we're now able to like bring in new energy, bring in new experiences that are aligned with more positive things, not tied to challenging things or always feeling like we have to grind and things never getting easier. But I also feel like your awareness has shifted this year, your consciousness has shifted, and you're kind of opening up to seeing things in a new way, especially from an energetic, spiritual position. But let's see the 8 of Cups, Judgment. Yeah, it was kind of like, finally, it was just like it was time to walk away from something or make a big change in your life. It's like you finally heard the call. You could have been forced to face like a crossroads in your life where you actually had to make like a decision. Like the Judgment would be like a big crossroads where it's like, are you going to continue and stay in the same job that you've been in forever? Or there's this opportunity, are you going to take it? Some situation like that. And you definitely felt a lot of passion and finally really motivated that, like, you couldn't not see this or experience this Eight of Cups. Like, it was time. What's the Devil about? Yeah, Devil and Death. Woo! Big, 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 big transformation here. I mean, this could have, for some of you, this was like a really big ending in some area of your life. Like, you walked away from something pretty big. It could be a marriage, a long-term relationship. Yeah, like even a career, like completely changing your career. And that's like big time, where obviously that you needed this, the intensity of this Strength card. These are all three major arcana cards, which really represent some big life-changing energies here. So I can kind of see now the Nine of Swords, like after that whole thing, I definitely feel like you're kind of at this place of like in some unknown territory of like what's next. So yeah, I mean, you're a little anxious about the unknown and what that's bringing, but yeah, there's some anxiety around kind of that next phase of your life, or where you the territory you're moving into. This is very similar to, what reading did I just do? I did the fire signs first. I think it was Leo. Similar stuff to Leo. If you have Leo, strong Leo in your chart, you may want to, I would definitely take a look at that video. And then the Empress here, Three of Swords, the Moon. So now with this clarifier, so this could actually be, the Empress can be around the mother energy or your mother. So you could have dealt with some heartbreak, some very difficult heartbreak stuff around your mother. It could be a mother wound. Some of you could have actually lost your mother at some point in the past. But this is still lingering. And that's where maybe this death and this Empress and the Three of Swords, like this is still impacting you a lot. But you're holding a lot of deep emotions about this. There's a lot of deep wounding or heartbreak still that you were carrying here. But I think though, this is a period of you, like I said, purifying these deep traumas or this deep grief or sadness. And kind of now you're able to bring in some new things here. What's the Five of Pentacles and the good stuff? King of Wands. Yeah, definitely feeling more, you're bringing in more success, definitely. And you're attracting a lot of things that are helping your life grow and expand. So that could be in work, clients. This could also be in love. Page of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, your energy just shifts and things are just coming, like you're magnetizing success, you're magnetizing money, you're magnetizing relationships, improvements. I think just like over the board, you're really aligning with things that are more authentic for you, that just are more you in general. So you could some of you could have really be shifting your whole career path here and doing something that more aligns with your truth. Okay, Capricorns, this is some good stuff here. I think that kind of wraps it up. Lots of strong energy here. I definitely feel like you've definitely been through something, but you are kind of, you're crossing the bridge from the old decimated, landscape that really is not anything you can even go back to, right? Like, it's just going to the other side here, and really kind of like, is this other side, what's on this other side of all this? And it is going to be good. Things are definitely shifting in your favor here. All right, Caps. Well, enjoy your December. Enjoy your holidays. I am this year going to be putting out 2026 yearly forecast for the whole year for each zodiac sign. So definitely look forward to that. There's going to be an extended as well. If I can talk, we're going to dig into actually looking at love and, you know, pulling some cards around love for next year as well as work and career, and also looking at your outcomes of 2026. So exciting stuff ahead. So watch for that. But other than that, for the monthlies, I will see you in the new year. So looking forward to that. Bye for now.